guys, Jennifer here with the Family Fudge, and welcome to Subscriber Lunch Sunday, Christmas edition. Now, I know we have a lot of new subscribers on this channel, so I want to give a little lunch explanation for those of you who might be new. Now, I share lots of different kinds of lunches on this channel, but on Saturdays, I share the school lunches that I actually make for my kids. The lunches I make for Subscriber Lunch Sunday, though, are a little bit different. These lunch ideas, of course, are sent in by my subscribers, and I usually just make one of these lunches and my kids get to try them over the weekend. Now, getting to make your guys' lunch ideas is really fun. It means I'm constantly learning to make new things, and my kids also get to try new foods that they don't normally have. So if you'd like to send in your lunch idea, number one, make sure you're subscribed, and then number two, you can use the link in the description box below to send in your idea. And now with all that being said, let's get on to these Christmas lunches. Okay guys, today I'm kicking things off with a lunch idea sent in by David from Flagstaff, Arizona. And for David's main course, I'm going to start by getting out some of these green tortillas. Now these tortillas are actually flavored with spinach and herbs, and that spinach in there is what makes them green. So next I'm going to prepare a delicious cream cheese spread to go on those tortillas. This one is really easy. I'm going to start with just 1/3 of a block of room temperature cream cheese. That part is really important. If you want your cream cheese to spread out easily, you definitely don't want it to be cold. So I'm just adding this to a mixing bowl. I'm gonna go ahead and add just 1 tablespoon of powdered ranch mix. So now that's really it, you guys. So now to build these, I'm going to take the spinach tortilla, and when I'm adding the cream cheese mixture on here, I'd say I'm adding a medium amount. I don't want to add too much, but I do want to make sure to get the cream cheese all the way to the edges of the tortilla, because like I said, this cream cheese is going to act like the glue. Next, I'm going to add several slices of provolone cheese. Now you really could use any kind of cheese that you prefer, but to get the effect I'm going for, I want to make sure to use a white cheese, and I want to use slices, not shredded. And I'll show you exactly why when it comes time to cut these rolls. So as I'm adding the cheese, I'm trying to make sure this layer is nice and full and even, and I am going to go ahead and fill in all the gaps as best I can. So far we have our green layer, we have our white layer, and now it's time for a red layer. And for this, I'm going to be using some slices of pepperoni. Now you guys know, usually I would use turkey pepperoni, but for David's lunch, I'm going to go ahead and use this regular pepperoni that's a lot larger than you would normally see. Now I found this at Walmart, and it is super red, which is definitely what I'm going for today. So just like the cheese, I'm going to add a thin, even layer of the pepperoni all over the tortilla. So now that the pepperoni layer is done, I'm going to roll this up as tightly as I can. And now I'm not actually going to cut into this right now. Instead, I'm going to stick it in the fridge so it can chill for at least 30 minutes, which is going to make them a lot easier to slice. Now, when it comes time to slice into these guys, I like to use a nice sharp knife, and I very gently saw back and forth with it because I don't want to squish these rolls with the knife. I want them to stay nice and round, and as you can see, these turned out really cool. I love the spiral of red and green and white. That's one of the reasons I used sliced cheese instead of shredded cheese, just so I could have that look. So now I'm going to place these rolls on the lunch tray in a Christmas tree pattern, and to top the tree, I'm adding a small piece of carrot that I cut into a star shape. And I also cut a little rectangle piece of carrot to look like the trunk of the tree. I think this turned out so cute, but it was actually really easy to make. So now that David's main course is done, I'm going to move on to his fruit, and he requested some Christmas tree kiwi. Now there's actually quite a few ways that you can make a kiwi into a Christmas tree, but for today's lunch, I started by peeling my kiwis. Then I'm going to cut the whole thing in half. Then I'm going to cut each half into 3 slices. So to turn these kiwis into a Christmas tree, I added several slices to a skewer. Then I trimmed off some of their edges on an angle so that they would look like a Christmas tree. And then to top these Christmas trees, I just added a little piece of cantaloupe that I cut into a star shape. And speaking of star shapes, the next thing I'm going to do is add this little silicone liner, and I'm actually going to fill this guy with a little bit of ranch dip. And to check it out, you guys, I finally got around to making my homemade ranch. This stuff is so good. This is definitely our favorite ranch, and I do have a video on how I make this. I will link it down below. So I'm just adding about a tablespoon or so of the ranch dip, and to go along with it, I'm adding David's vegetable. These are just baby carrots that I cut with my crinkle cutter just to make them look a little bit more interesting. So I'm gonna load these up on the tray, and then it's time to move on to the snack. For David's lunch today, he requested veggie straws, so I'm gonna add some right here. And then for his sweet treat, David requested candy cane pretzels. Now you guys, if you've never tried these before, they are addicting. Now I actually found these ones at Aldi, and it's basically a star-shaped pretzel that they dip in white chocolate, and then they sprinkle crushed up candy canes on top. So it's sweet and it's minty, and of course with that star shape they are super cute as well. So I'm just gonna add a few of these right into the treat section. And then last but not least, I'm also adding in some apple juice. And since I don't actually have a Christmas bottle topper, I decided to go with the green Mickey head because red and green always makes me think of Christmas. Okay guys, so that's everything in David's lunch. Now I'm gonna go ahead and let my kids give this lunch a try, and then they'll let you know what they thought. Okay guys, what do you think about this lunch? Jackson, what's your favorite?
It's really good, and probably my favorite are the roll thingies.
The rolls? What about you, Lily?
Pretzels.
Kenzie?
I really like the roll things and the pretzels.
And Griffin, what's your favorite? No, really, what was your favorite?
Pretzels are my favorite.
Next up, I'm going to be making Rachel's lunch idea. Rachel is from England, and I am super excited to make Rachel's lunch today because she requested something I've been wanting to make for a while, and that is a charcuterie board. But actually, I'm not going to be making this on a board. I'm going to go ahead and build this on our lunch tray, and I am going to go ahead and turn it this way because I have a really cute idea on how I want to put this together. But for mine today, I'm going to start with a layer of crackers, and these are the snowflake crackers. So they're super cute for a Christmas themed lunch. Next, I'm going to add a row of green grapes, followed by a row of salami. And when I was at the store, I made sure to buy the salami that was about the same size as my crackers. These definitely fit a lot better, and they look really cute. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add some cheese cubes, and you guys, I didn't even have to cut the cheese. I was able to find a bag of pre-cubed cheese, so this is quick and easy. I'm just gonna go ahead and pile some up right here. And as you guys can probably already tell, each row is getting smaller and smaller because I want this to look like a Christmas tree when I'm done. So now at the top of the tree, I'm adding 2 more green grapes and a star made of carrot. I'm gonna go ahead and scoot these up just a little bit to leave room for 1 more row of crackers. Now you guys, I'm actually shocked. I think this turned out really cute. I'm just gonna finish it off with a little piece of carrot that I cut into a rectangle, and I'm gonna fit it right on the bottom here to look like the trunk of our Christmas tree. So now that that's done, I'm gonna move on to some fruit. For Rachel's lunch today, she requested a combination of raspberries, so I'm just adding a line of those here. I'm also adding more of those green grapes. Then I'm going to add just a couple pieces of cantaloupe, and I cut those into little star shapes as well. And you guys, these ingredients are nothing fancy, but arranging them like this on the tray makes them look really special. Now to go along with this, Rachel also requested some mini pickles. Mini pickles are often found on a charcuterie board, but I'm gonna go ahead and put them on the side. I'm gonna go ahead and add this little stocking decoration. And now that brings us to Rachel's sweet treat. Now she requested chocolate of any kind, so I thought it would be really fun to go ahead and add these chocolate ornaments. Now, I actually found these at Aldi, and the package says they were actually made in Germany, so I guess that makes them really authentic. These guys are so cute, and they really do look like real ornaments. But basically, it's just a chocolate, and they are hollow in the center. And then lastly, for Rachel's lunch today, she requested some Christmas punch. Now I know there's a lot of different ways that you can make Christmas punch, but for today's lunch, I decided to make one of my favorites. This punch is super easy to make, and it is definitely a crowd pleaser. To make this punch, I'm going to start with some pineapple juice. This is 100% pineapple juice. Next, I'm going to be adding in some unsweetened cranberry juice. I'm going to fill up the rest of the cup with some ginger ale. So that's going to add a little bit of fizz in there, and I think all of these flavors work really well together. Okay guys, now before I let my kids dig into this, I do want to go ahead and snap a picture for Instagram, and then there you have it. There's everything in Rachel's lunch. Okay guys, what did you think? Kenzie, what was your favorite?
My favorite part was the cheese, the crackers, and the salami.
Jackson?
My favorite part was the salami, the crackers, and the chocolate.
And Lily?
The pickles and the chocolate.
What did you like, Griffin? This next lunch idea was sent in by Jean. Jean is from Alberta, Canada, and for her lunch, I'm going to start by making a Christmas tree shaped sandwich, which is going to be kind of a cross between a peanut butter and jelly and fairy bread. So to make this, I'm going to start with just 2 pieces of regular bread. Then I'm going to use this Christmas tree cutter on both slices. Then to one of the pieces, I'm also going to cut out a smaller Christmas tree shape. And this is going to create what I like to call a peekaboo window. So now I'm going to go ahead and add a layer of peanut butter to just one of these slices of bread. But then you guys, I'm not going to be adding any jam onto this. Instead, I'm going to be adding some sprinkles. That's where the whole fairy bread thing comes into play. Now, I have several videos on fairy bread, so if you're curious, I'll link those down below. This is definitely not the traditional way to make fairy bread, but I think this is a really fun twist. Now, you guys from Australia will have to let me know if you ever have fairy bread with peanut butter or if that's like a big no-no. And just in case you've never heard of fairy bread, I do have a separate video on that. I will link it down below. So now that our cute little sandwich is done, I'm going to move on to some fruit dip. For this, I'm using a combination of vanilla yogurt. This is just Greek yogurt. I'm also going to be using some honey, some vanilla extract, some peanut butter, and some mini chocolate chips. So to make this dip, it's actually super easy. I'm just going to start by adding all of my yogurt to a bowl. Next, I'm adding a tablespoon of peanut butter. Next, I'm adding a splash of vanilla, followed by a drizzle of honey. Not too much. And then I just have to whisk this all together. Now to go along with this fruit dip, you've got to have fruit, right? So for Jean's lunch today, she requested apple slices in the shape of a Christmas tree, which I think is an awesome idea, especially if you're looking for a healthier Christmas treat. Now again, I did go ahead and add a little star-shaped carrot on the top and a little rectangle piece of carrot for the trunk. So now to put this tray together, I'm going to go ahead and put the peanut butter fairy bread in the corner. That way I have plenty of space for the little apple slice Christmas tree. And then for the fruit dip, I went ahead and put this in a separate little silicone cup. And to finish it off, I'm going to sprinkle just a few of these mini chocolate chips on top. Now to go along with Jean's lunch, she also requested some cheese and crackers. And I actually found these really cute Christmas cheeses at Aldi. This snowman shaped one is actually cheddar and caramelized onion flavor, and the little star shape is just plain cheddar. And for today's lunch, I decided to go with that caramelized onion cheese because that sounds really interesting. So I'm just adding a few slices of that cheese right on the side. And of course, to go along with it, more of those snowflake crackers. And now you guys, that brings us to Jean's sweet treat. Now she requested something a little controversial, which is a fruitcake. I know some people really like fruitcake and some people really don't. You guys will have to let me know in the comments down below what you think of fruitcake. For me, usually I'm not a huge fan, although Costco sells a fruitcake, which is actually pretty good. So I think it really depends on the brand of the fruitcake. So I just added a couple little pieces of that fruitcake into a separate container, and I'm going to decorate it with a little snowman pick on top. And then finally, for Jean's drink today, she requested some sparkling water. So I'm going to go ahead and add this key lime flavored LaCroix. I know key lime is not necessarily a Christmas flavor, but this can is nice and green, so I think it goes with our Christmas theme just fine. Okay guys, what do you think?
It's really good.
What do you like, Lily?
My favorite was the apples, but I didn't like the fruitcake.
And Jackson?
I liked the apples and the crack.
What was your favorite, Griffin?
Again, was just whiskey. My favorite was the apples and the chocolate chip dip kind of thing, but I didn't really like the fruitcake.
No, that's okay. Some people like it, some people don't. Okay guys, now that brings us to our next lunch idea. This one was sent in by Maria. Maria is from Texas. And for her lunch today, I'm gonna start by making some really fun pull-apart Christmas pizzas. For this, I'm using some shredded mozzarella cheese, some pasta sauce, some turkey pepperoni, and some store-bought pizza dough. Now you guys, I've actually seen this recipe on the Pillsbury website before. And usually with this recipe, you make one big Christmas tree. But for Maria's lunch today, I thought it'd be really fun to make some mini versions instead. So to make these, the first thing I'm going to do is open up my pizza dough. Then I'm going to cut the dough into little squares. Now to these little squares, I'm going to add just a touch of pizza sauce, not too much or it will leak out everywhere. Next, I'm adding just half a slice of pepperoni and a pinch of cheese. Now I'm going to very carefully bring up the edges of my dough and I'm going to pinch them together to create a ball, just like that. Now I'm going to repeat this process until I have enough of these little pizza balls to create a Christmas tree shape. Now you guys, this is actually a really fun recipe and it's so easy, your kids could definitely help you make these. I'm going to add a little extra piece of dough on the bottom here to look like the trunk of the Christmas tree. And before I put them in the oven, I am going to sprinkle a little bit of mozzarella cheese on top. And I'm also going to add a pinch of dried Italian seasoning on there as well. Of course, this is going to add some really yummy flavor, but it's also going to kind of look like ornaments on our Christmas tree. Now these guys are going to cook super fast. They only take about 10 minutes at 350, and when they're done, they look like this. Golden brown and delicious. They smell so good. Now to finish off this Christmas tree, I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of pizza sauce right on top. And of course, just like most of my Christmas trees today, I'm going to top it with a little carrot that I cut into a star shape. Now I'm going to go ahead and move this aside so that I can prepare Maria's fruit. For her lunch today, she asked for a combination of strawberries and bananas. To the strawberries, I went ahead and washed them. Now I just need to cut off the tops, and then I'm going to cut each strawberry into 3 pieces. Then I'm going to go ahead and open up the banana. This banana is perfectly ripe. It's not green, but it's also not mushy, and that's definitely what you want for this. And now I'm just going to slice this banana, and I want the pieces to be about the same size as the strawberry pieces. Now to go along with the Christmas theme, I did go ahead and alternate the strawberry and banana slices so that they kind of look like a candy cane. This is super easy to do, and I think this turned out so cute. Now moving on to Maria's vegetable, I'm going to go ahead and start by adding a little bit of ranch for dipping, and then I'm going to surround this with just a few sticks of celery. And then to go along with the celery, Maria also requested some cherry tomatoes. So I'm just going to add a couple of these to these really cute Christmas picks, and they're going to fit perfectly right in here. And then you guys, for Maria's special treat today, she requested fudge. And you guys, instead of making my own fudge, I thought it'd be really funny to use this Christmas story fudge. You guys will have to let me know in the comments down below if you've ever seen this movie. I think the way he says fudge in this movie is actually really funny. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I'm going to cut this fudge into a little star shape and then add it onto the lunch tray. I'm going to decorate this with just a little Christmas penguin decoration. And then the very last thing for Maria's lunch is her drink, and she requested some plain milk. So I'm just going to add this little box right on the side. So now it's time to let the kids give it a try. Okay guys, what'd you think?
It was really good.
What's your favorite part?
I liked the little pizza ball things the most.
Yeah?
Fudge.
You like the fudge the best? And what about you, Jack?
I like the pizza balls and the fudge and also the strawberries and bananas and the tomatoes and the celery. That's everything in the lunch.
Okay guys.
See you next week. Merry Christmas.
I'd love to know in the comments down below which lunch was your favorite. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.